Hi everyone, this is Arvindananda is going to present. My topic is RDBMS. What is the RDBMS stands for? So RDBMS is basically R plus DBMS. When a relational concept, R is a relational, R means relation. When a relational concept is added with DBMS. So DBMS is what? DBMS is a database management system. When a relational, R is a relation, or you can say relational database management system. When a relation concept is added with database, it is called a relational database management system. What are present in 3G, that is also present in 4G, but beside that some extra facilities in 4G, in mobile phones. There are different technology of 3G, 4G, 5G like this. G means generation, mobile generation, third generation, fourth generation. So whatever present in 3G, that is also present in 4G, but there is some extra facilities in 4G that is not present in 3G. When a new generation arises, some extra facilities are added. Similarly, first we go for database management system, then after that we go for relational database. So database means basic concept of about the database. What are the data? How to manage the data? So what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages? So everything will be covered in database. But in basically what we basically discussed about in RDBMS, the relational concept, basically what does it mean? Basically we say that a relation is a tabular format. You can store the data in a tabular form. Tabular form means in a rows and columns. That is called your relations. So this is a row, row 1, this is row 1, this is row 2, like that, n number of rows. Similarly, column 1, column 2, dot dot, n number of columns. N number of rows and n number of columns. You can represent in a tabular form. A table is a collection of rows and columns. At the intersection point, this is called your cell. What is the name of this cell? R1, C1, row 1, column 1. So this cell is row 1, column 2. Similarly, what is this? The cell, this is a cell having row 2, column 1, like this. So we can represent the data in a row 1, column manner in relational database management system. So basically a new concept. What are the basically the term discussing in relational database? Basically the first concept is your normalization. Normalization is a concept used in RDBMS. Relational algebra. Relational algebra is a concept that will cover in basically in RDBMS. Relational calculus. And the new term is called your transaction. So these are the basically the terms added with DBMS. So today's class I will discuss not about this, what is a normalization, what is relational algebra, what is relational calculus. So today's class is about transaction. What are the transactions and what are the states of transaction and how to manipulate the transaction or perform transaction in database or relational database. So I will discuss about transaction. What is a transaction? What is a transaction? A transaction is a program module whose execution may change the contents of the database. Basically, a transaction is a program module. It is a program. A transaction is a program module whose execution may change. When you execute it, execution may change the contents of the database. Change the content of database. So basically a transaction is a program. Whatever the program you write it a program is a transaction or a part of the programs. When you execute the program, the contents of the database may change. That is called your transaction. In computer meaning we can say this is a transaction. It is a program. If you execute the program, the contents of the database may change. So in general term, what you can say, suppose you are talking about the banking transaction or a daily online transaction, you are performing online transaction, financial transaction. So what's the banking transaction? Basically we say that basically deposit something, withdraw something. Withdraw from the account and deposit some amount in your account. Deposit, withdraw, and that is your basic transaction. So our day-to-day activities we are performing in a bank. So basically we can say that suppose A is your account, A is my account. First the transaction will read, suppose I want to withdraw some amount from my account. So before withdrawing, so what amount value, whether that actual value of the amount is available in my account or not. Suppose my account balance is 1000 rupees, I want to withdraw 3000 rupees. So it is not possible. So before withdrawing anything, so a account will be checked. That is called a read operation. Read account A. So read A means, so let A is having 5000 rupees. Where it is stored? So in a database. So let this is a database or database server may be. Suppose A is a account, the account value is 5000 here. Suppose I want to withdraw, I am a client, I want to withdraw 2000 rupees from this account A. So before withdrawing, first the account will be read what amount it is. So the value will be fetched from the server, that is the account value is 5000 rupees. Read means what are the current balance of that particular account. This is a read operations. Read value, what value read from the database? The value is 5000 rupees. Suppose I want to withdraw something means, so whatever the value available in account A, that is updated. So that means A will be A minus 2000, obviously I want to withdraw 2000 rupees. So whatever the value of A, that will be withdrawn by 2000. That means A is equal to A minus 2000. That means you withdraw 2000 rupees. What is the update value? The update value will be, update value you write in the database. So what is the update value? So A is now, the update value will be 3000. So that 3000 write means write in a database. So that update value, what is the update value of A? So A is now 3000. So initially it is 5000, then you withdraw 2000. So after withdrawing 2000, the update value is now 3000. So 3000 is written in a database. So old value, this is a old value of account A, this is the new value. New value means the updated value. So after the transaction over, so the update value of A is what? A is now 3000 rupees. So this is basically, you can say, this is a general transaction we performing in day-to-day life. So a transaction having different states of transaction. What are the states? States of transaction there are different states of transaction. The first state is a ready state or starting state, ready or active, you can say active state. The transaction is active. Then after active state, you go for partially commit. Partially committed state. Partially committed. Partially committed. Then committed. There may be a chances, there is a, after this active state there may be a chances of failure occurs, fail state, or after doing some transaction there may be a fails. If the transaction fails, it is aborted. Then you go for end of the transaction. So you start from here. So active state means the transaction is ready to execute. The ready state or the initial state of transaction is called active state. I am active means I am ready to start my class. So the transaction is active means the transaction is ready to execute or ready to start. The starting state of the transaction or beginning state of the transaction is called active state. It is ready or it is ready to what? Ready to start. After the active state, the transaction is started. So then you go for partially commit. What is a partially commit? Partial commit means not over. Before the end of the transaction, the committed is a what? Committed means the transaction is complete. When the transaction complete, the end state arises. The transaction is over. Committed means the update value is written on the database. So that means committed means the last statement is executed. Execution is over. The last statement of the transaction is over. That means the update value is written on the database. So committed means the end of the transaction. So before the end of the transaction, the state is called partially commit. Let there are 20 lines of code. When the 20th line is executed, already your first line to 20 line execution is over. So that is called your commit. Then the update value is written. So before 20th lines, that is first line to 19th line execution is called partially commit. Means it is not completed. So before the end statements, that is called a partial commit. Partial commit means before the end of the transaction or before the commit statement execution or last statement execution state is called partially commit. So then if the last statement is executed, it is a committed. If suppose there are 20 lines of code, line number 1 something is written, line number 2, line number 3, line number 4, line number 5. Suppose read A like this, read A is equal to something, A is equal to A minus 2000, write A, then read B, B is another account. So suppose A is equal to A, suppose B is equal to B plus 1000, so sixth line is let it be, write B, write B. So how many number of this transaction contains how many? The 6 number of statements or 6 lines of code. Read account A, then you withdraw 2000 rupees in account A, then update value is written in a database. Then account B is readed, 1000 rupees deposited, then update value will be written in the database. Write means write the value in a database. Read means read from the database. Okay. So this is the ready state. The transaction is starting state is called ready active. So when this statement is executed, so first line to sixth line is executed, then commit operation will be goes. Commit means it is already over, and the update value of A, B is written in a database. So before this last line, before the last line, this state is called partially commit. Partial commit means before the end of this transaction. The state is called partial commit. If suppose line 1 is executed, line 2 is executed, some failure occurs in line 3, there may be a chances. There are 6 lines of code executed, so not all executed. Suppose line 1 is executed, line 2 is executed. When line 3 is executed, at that time some failure occurs. The failure may be a hardware failure, or it may be a software failure, or it may be a disk failure, or some other type of failure occurs. So that is called your fail occurs. After some statement execution, then fail occurs. Or the fail may be from the beginning also. You start immediately. When no statement is executed at the beginning, the failure may be occurs. That is a fails. Fail means what? What type of fail? Fail means failure. Fail state. Fail means failure. So what type of failure? It may be hardware failure, or it may be a software failure, or you can just disk failure, or you can say link failure, maybe link failure, or it may be disk failure. So different type of fails occurs. Or there may be some problems, there may be a crash, system crash. So different type of fail occurs. So that called your fail state. From the beginning of the transaction, the fail may occur, or some statement is executed, there may be a chances of fail occurs. If the fail occurs after the committed, if after the execution of the all lines, if the fail occurs, after the commit operation, if the fail occurs, there will be no problem, because if the commit operation is already executed, the update value is already in the database. So there will be no problem. If before the commit, if any fail occurs, there may be a chances of loss of the data, or the update value may not be written in the database. So that is called your fail state. Fail state means there may be a chances of failure. That means some line of execution of the statement, the failure at the beginning may occur, the failure at the some statement are executed, the fail may occur, or fail may occur at the end of the transaction. If the end of the transaction the fail occurs, there will be no problem. Already the transaction is complete. The update value is written in a database. So that is called your fails. Aborted means if the fail occurs, obviously we forcefully terminate it sometimes. If any link failure occurs, or any other type of fail occurs, there may be a chances of aborted the transaction. Aborted means it is terminated, forcefully terminated the transactions. That means the transaction may end. So these are the basically different states of the transaction: active state, partial commit, fail state, aborted state, committed states. So last we get the end of the transactions. Then the next concept we go for next is what are the properties of transaction. Properties. Properties of transaction. So what are the basic properties? The properties is called what? It is a acid properties. This is called acid properties. ACID. The property is called acid properties of the transaction. What is acid? A for atomicity. A for atomicity, C for consistency, I for isolation, and D for durability. Okay, atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. There are 4 states of any transactions. That is called your acid properties of transaction. So what the atomicity property says, I will explain through a simple example. Suppose before the end of the transaction occurs, suppose a transaction having 4 lines. It may be a banking transaction or any transaction. The transaction is not completed. There may be a power failure, There may be sometimes happens the link failures. Sometimes we withdraw money from the bank by using the ATM. Sometimes when you put the card into the slot, sometimes the link maybe fails. So you are already inserted the values, how much amount you want to insert, the link maybe fails. So this is a link failure occurs, but your transaction is not complete. Not complete means you are not getting the money from the ATM. So there may be a chances of failure occurs, different type of failures. It may be a link failure or software failure, it may be hardware failure, or different failed occurs. So what the atomicity property says, very simple example. Suppose you want to withdraw some amount from your account. Suppose your account having A is a account name, account having 5,000 rupees. You want to withdraw 2,000 rupees. So your transaction is not complete. So like this, so read A. So A is equal to A minus suppose 1,000 rupees. So write A. Suppose this is a database. Suppose your account is stored here, a account having 5,000 rupees. The transaction will read how much account in your account. So your account having how much rupees? 5,000 rupees. Suppose your account having 5,000 rupees, is it possible you can withdraw 10,000 rupees? No. The system or the server will show that insufficient balance. So first the balance will be checked from the database server. Your account is stored in a server. The server, it will check in a server that particular amount 1,000 you withdraw, whether 1,000 is available in your account or not. So that is a read operation performed. Then you withdraw 1,000 rupees. So what is A will be read? The A will be show that A is what value? A is equal to 1,000 what value? 5,000 rupees. That will fetch from the server. Your account having 5,000 rupees. Then you withdraw 1,000 rupees. Then what is your update value? Update value will be 5,000 minus 1,000. So 5,000 minus 1,000, so that is 4,000 is written on A. So now A value will be 4,000. So this 4,000 is written on this account. This is a write. This is a write operation. This is a read operation. So read from the server, and after the updation, the update value will be written on the database. So what is the update value? The update value will be 4,000. So this is the old value. So this is a new value or updated value of your account. So now your account having 4,000 rupees. So here the question is, before the write operation, if any fail occurs. So here the fail occurs. What type of failure I don't know. It may be a software failure, it may be link failure, it may be disk failure, or it may be crash. Any failure occurs, but your last statement is not executed. Your update operation is processing, but it is not completed. If any fail occurs. So what will happen? The old value still in the database. The update is not completed. That means now the A value is not 4,000. So the A value is what? A value is 5,000. That means the old value still remain, because before the update operation the transaction fails. So it is not completed. So write means the update operation is already completed and the update value is written on the database. So before this update, any fail occurs, still again the old value in the database. The modified value or the update value is not written on the database. So this is called your atomicity property. So before the end of the transaction, any fail occurs, the old value is still remain. The value is not updated. Durability is just opposite. Durability means last property is called durability, atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. So durability is just opposite. Durability. What it says, after the end of the transaction, your transaction is over, first line execute, second line execute, third line already execute, then after that the fail occurs. After that the failure occurs. So there will be no problem, already your transaction is completed. So A is 5,000 read, you are withdrawing 1,000 rupees, already update value, your value is updated, it is already saved in the database. So if the failure occurs, what will happen? Already A is already updated in the database. So there is no problem for the database. because the value is already updated, the update value in the database. But before the end of the transaction, if any failure occurs, we get the old value. If after the write operation, if any failure occurs, the transaction is already over, the update value is already written in the database. So the old value is 5000, the new value is already 4000 is already written in a database. So that is the difference between that is first property, that is atomicity and durability. What is isolation and consistency? Isolation means no transaction know the side effect of other transaction. What does it mean? Suppose two person 1 is sitting in a particular room in his computer. Suppose user 1. User 2 is sitting in another computer. Suppose in another building. Suppose this is a server. Suppose it is a particular account having 5000 rupees. Suppose at a particular moment, let the time is at 11 am. Suppose user 1 is a banking personnel, user 2 is also banking personnel. So suppose user 1 is sitting at Bhubaneswar, SBI of Bhubaneswar, let it be SBI of Bhubaneswar. Let user 2 maybe this is a suppose Banivihar branch. Suppose this is a BJP Nagar branch, SBI BJP Nagar branch. Okay, so you are having the account A. Account A, it may be in this branch or maybe this branch or maybe in other branch. Obviously there is a link, otherwise how you can withdraw from other banks. So there is a server store your account values. It does store which server, in where you open the account. Suppose you are opening the account in Banivihar branch, your account, this server contains your this value. Or maybe in BJP Nagar, if you open the account in BJP Nagar, your account server store this account value here. If you withdraw from this branch, obviously there is a link from this branch to this branch. The internet, it will check that server whether that amount is available or not. But here the question is, at a particular moment, let the time is 11 am, user 1 requests the account A. Suppose some operation perform in that particular account. At the same time, another user again uses the same account. So if both will be read, both person, this wants to read, this also wants to read. So read will be no problem. So user 1 read what? A will be 5000. So what the user 2 will be read? A is equal to 5000. But if this person is right, this person is read, or this is right, this is read, or both will be update, there will be problem. Suppose user 1 wants to update the account A, at the same time user B wants to update the account A. So what will be problem? Suppose like this, read A. So A is equal to A minus 1000, so write A. Suppose user 1 also required the account A at the same time, so read A. So then update A value, A is equal to A minus 2000, so write A. So account A is in the server, this is a server. So the server is another computer, higher computer that stored your account number. So user 1, user 2 both require your account at a particular time, or doing some operation in a particular account maybe at a particular time. So that user 1 doesn't know the effect. How the user 1 knows that user 2 is using at the account A at the same time? That is not possible, because user 1 is in another building, user 2 is in another building. So what will happen? So here read A means what value? Read from the server, A is equal to 5000. So 1000 to withdraw. So what value will be written? 4000. 5000 minus 1000. So 4000 will be write by this. So A will be 4000. Will be write by what? User 2. Similarly here user 1 read 5000. So withdraw 2000. So A is equal to 5000 read. Withdraw 2000 and what value will be written? A is equal to 5000 minus 2000, 3000. So this will be right, A is equal to 3000. So both will read at the same time. So user 2 read 5000, user 1 also read 5000. User 1 would read 2000, user 2 would read it to 1000. So 5000 minus 1000 is equal to 4000. Here read again for 5000, user 2000, write 3000. So user 1 write 3000 in a database, user 2 write 4000 in a database. But it is not possible. In a particular time, the account having two different values, is having someone is written 4000 and some other will write 3000. But actually how much will be withdrawn? 1000 and 2000. 3000 is actually withdrawn from the account. So what is the actual value of the account? 5000 minus 3000 is 2000. So we get the inconsistent value of the database. We will not get the accurate value of the database. So who will handle this type of problem? This is a problem. This problem will handle, or this problem is called concurrency problem or concurrency problem. Concurrent user want to update a particular data item at the same time. It may be a account or any, that is resource. At the same time, if multiple user wants to access, this problem will arise. Always we get the problems. We are not getting the accurate value of the data item. So we are not worried about that. The system will handle this type of problem. The operating system, there is a software is already loaded, or there is a mechanism in database that will handle this type of problems. So that is called concurrency problem, how to handle it. There are different techniques. So this is not the job of the users. So this is the job of operating system. What are the operating system we are loading in our system? It may be Windows or Linux or whatever the operating system, or database may handle. What type of database in your system that will handle this type of problems. Who will allow, who will it not allow, how to handle this type of problem. So that is the job of database. How to handle the concurrencies or this mutual exclusion problems. This is called isolation. And last one is your atomicity, consistency. What is a consistency? Consistency says that consistency maintained before the start of the transaction and end of the transaction. That means before the start of the transaction, the sum of the account is same as after the end of the transaction. Suppose very simple example, suppose I want to withdraw some amount from one account and deposit in another account, let it be. Suppose this like this. So read A is equal to A minus 1000. Then write A. Then another account is suppose read B. So B is equal to B plus 1000. So write B. So my purpose is I am having two accounts. Suppose A is one account in SBI, another account may be in Axis Bank. I want to withdraw some amount from SBI account and deposit in my Axis Bank account. So that means withdraw from here and deposit in another account. Withdraw from this 1000 and deposit in account B again 1000. Suppose the initial value, both values are in a server. So A is what? A is equal to 5000 rupees. What is B? B, let it be 3000 rupees. Now there are two separate accounts. This is one account, this is another account. I want to withdraw from, this is a, suppose my SBI account, this is my suppose Axis Bank account. So I want to withdraw this account having how much? It is 5000. So this is having 3000. Suppose I want to withdraw and deposit some amount from account to SBI account and deposit in my Axis Bank account. Because I am performing some loans from Axis Bank, or maybe deposit my EMI, there is a shortage of money, that's why I want to withdraw from here and deposit. Let that some causes are there. I want to withdraw from one account and deposit in another account. So that is the case. So we will read. What is the value of read? Read means what value will read from the database? The A value will be what? A is equal to 5000. Because my account value is stored in a where? The server. The server store the account values. So A is what? 5000 rupees. So 1000 to withdraw. 1000 withdraw means A is what? A is equal to 4000. So that 4000 will be written here. Thus that the update value will be 4000. So read B means it may be same server, it may be a different server. So let the value is 3000. So this value is read 3000. So this 1000 is added in this account. So what is the value of B? 3000 is old value, then 1000 is deposited, withdraw here, deposit here. So 3000 plus 1000 is equal to 4000. So before the start of the transaction, what is the sum of A plus B? Before means before the start of the transaction, the sum of A, B is equal to 5000 plus 3000. So that is 8000. So after the transaction means when here it is over, the transaction is over. What is the sum of A, B? So A plus B is what? What is the value of A? A is already updated. A value is 1000 to withdraw means 4000. And B is what? B is having 1000 deposited, 4000. So that is again 8000. So that means before the transaction and after the transaction the sum will be same. This property is called consistence properties of transaction. So these are the basic ideas of different properties of transaction we are performing in a database. This is the theoretical concept, but practically what we will do by using some database language we will perform this. So every company, every bank or every university, college having database or database, that is a different type of database available in the market. So your popular database is Oracle. Oracle is one of the database to maintain everything. Bank data, student data, employee data, college data, everything is maintained in a database. Most popular database is Oracle. Oracle is one of the database name that is developed by Oracle Corporation. So many other databases available on the market. MySQL is also one of the database. Ingress is one of the database. DB2 is one of the database. So many databases is available in the market, DB2. But Oracle is most popular, Oracle and MySQL. Oracle, if you purchase the license software of Oracle, you have to pay some amount, 40,000, 30,000 like this, or maybe 1 lakh. MySQL is a open source, it is freely available in the internet. It is a free open source software. So there are mostly we can use Oracle or MySQL for easier purposes, or it is user friendly to use. Some different countries, European countries, they may use Ingress or DB2 maybe. So how we perform the transaction of the document? Okay. Just the last point. I will not discuss details, only a few lines how we perform the transaction. That is only tell 2 points. The commit operation, commit and rollback operation of that is transaction. How we perform in a database actually. Commit means after the transaction is already over, the update value is written on the database. So if you go through the language, means SQL means structural query language. SQL is a language, Oracle is a database. In a Oracle database, we are using the structure query language. In MySQL also we are using SQL. SQL is a language, but MySQL or Oracle is a database. In that particular database, we are using this language to store data, to create database, manipulate, update, every operation we perform in a database by using structure query language. So very simple concept, commit. Commit means the value is write operation. Commit means write operation. My transaction is over. When you immediately write the commit, the value is already saved in the database. If you not save it, if the current goes out, again the old value is there, the transaction is not complete. So if you perform the commit operation, the update value is written on the database. That means the update value is saved in the database. The similar concept when you are using the computer, where type suppose 10 pages, we are not save it, if the current goes out, everything will be vanished. That means again we start from the beginning. So that means it is basically used for save purposes. If you press the commit, the update value is already saved in the database. If the current goes out, there will be no problem. So before the commit operation, if the current goes out or any link problem or any failure occurs, obviously everything will be vanished. The update value is not that is created in a database. Again you start from the beginning. The transaction again you start from the beginning, because the transaction is not complete. Before complete, the failure occurs. So if you execute the commit operation, so every value is stored in a database. Save. So what is the syntax? Write the commit. Simple commit. Press enter. That means commit completed. Commit completed. It show you commit completed means what are the transaction you perform. If you perform any transaction, at the end you write the commit. Practically means the update value is written on the database. And then rollback. Rollback is a point what says that rollback means we go back. Go back means suppose there are 100 lines of code. Suppose 99th line is executed. I want to change some updatation in the previous line. I want to go back. So rollback is a concept to go back. How to go back? So before go back, the another point is called save point. Save point. So save point is just act as a pointer. It pointing to the current statement. Which current statement is execute, it indicating the pointer. So first line execute, the pointer is in the first line. When the second line execute, the pointer goes to second. When third line execute, the pointer goes to third line, like this. So the save point the syntax is like that. It is just act as a pointer. You will like save point name. Save point name. Save point name. Okay, suppose I will create a table. Suppose employee table. In a particular occasion, I want to create a table. The name of the table is employee. Suppose the employee having employee number, employee name maybe. So employee number which type? Number means it is a number type. So employee number is a number. The size of the number name may be 4. Then employee name may be. There are so maybe other fields. I will declare only 2. Employee name is a variable character, varchar. Varchar 2 size is let it be 20. So one table is created. So if it is a created. What created? Table created. Okay. So one table is created in the name of employee. So there are 2 fields. One is your employee number. One is your employee name. So I will store the employee number and employee name. Suppose the employee number is 01. Suppose Aravinda. Employee number 02. Suppose Ram. Like this. We insert all the records of the employees. So already one table is created. So I will write what? Next I will write insert the records. So insert count by using the insert command. We insert the records. Insert. So insert into table name. Table name is employee. That means I want to insert some records in that particular table. So I want to insert the first record. First record is 01 Aravind. So insert into table name. What is the table name? Table name is employee. What you insert? Employee number. Employee number is 01. What is your name? Name is suppose Aravind. What it shows that your output will be one row created. One row created means one record is already inserted. Similarly, another record, you want 1000 records. Similarly, you insert 1000 records, one after another. But save point is what? So after this line, suppose I will write that is save point. Save point name is suppose S1. So what will say that? Save point. So save point is what? Save point is already created. So save point created. What is the created? That means a save point is indicating the name of the save point is S1. So the first record will show the marker is S1. S1 is a pointer that indicating to the first record. Again I want to insert. So after this line, again I will write another SQL statement like this. Again I want to insert second record. Insert into employee. EMP values. So employee values. So you write the values. Okay. So what is the values? The second record we will insert 02. The name is what? Ram. What shows that? The second row created. Second row created. That means another row is created. Okay. So another row is inserted in the table. Again after that, if you write again this line, say point, the say point name is S2. That means another say point is created and it is indicating to second line. So that means not exactly first line, second line. After 20 lines you may create a say point, or after 50 lines 50 records you create the say point. Suppose I am inserting 2 records and each record is indicating one pointer. So S1 indicating the first record, S2 is indicating second record. So after inserting the record, suppose I want to display the table. How many records are? It is not visible to me. It is internally stored, but it is not visible to me. So how you display on the computer screen? So it is in memory. The table is in memory and the records are already stored. It is in a memory. It is not visible to you. So how to visible in a computer screen? You write select all the records. Select star from table name. Table name is employee. Table name is employee. So what will show you? So this data will be show you. Employee number, employee name, 01 Arvind, 02 Ram. So this is your output will show you. Okay. So if I want to update something in a previous statement or previous line, suppose now I am in second line. So I want to go to the back, not exactly to, it may be 50 lines. I am in 50 lines. So I want to go back. Go back means I want to go to first line or go to second line or the 11th line. So how you go to back? So that is your rollback. Rollback is a concept. By using rollback, you can go back. So rollback means, so the output of this is this. Suppose I will write rollback to say point name. Say point name is suppose S1. Roll back to say point 1 means the control will go to this line. What is your output? What we show? Shows that 01 Arvind only. So that means the pointer S1 pointer is here in this line. So this line will only display, not all the records. That means the control will go, suppose there are first record, second record, third record, fourth record, fifth record, sixth record. Now the control is here. Already sixth record is already inserted. Employee number, employee name. 01 Arvind, 02 Ram, 03 something, 04, 05, 06, like this. X, Y, Z, K. I am here. I want to go to back. How to go back? By using the say point. Suppose here the say point is 1. You write roll back. Roll back means go back of the transaction. And how to indicate it? By using the say point name. That means go roll back S1 means S1 is indicating to the first record. If I want to go to first record, you write roll back S1. If you go to the S2, you write roll back S2. So that means that line will be show you. So that is the case of rollback. So this is basically we use for practical purposes. It is difficult to understanding in theory classes. So if you do the practical classes, it is easy to understand. So that is the end of the class. Thank you all.